Next on Worcester News tonight, a happy reunion in Worcester when an elderly man is found after missing for 2 days. Plus, Election Day is tomorrow, how new candidates are preparing for the big day. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Anna Botari. It's been nearly 2 months since Hurricanes Irma and Maria ripped through the southern part of the country in Puerto Rico. Tonight, we're hearing from 2 Worcester police officers who made the trip down to the island looking to help. Our Cam Jandro now joins us live with the details. Cam?
Anna, the first group of Worcester police officers that went down to Puerto Rico were there for roughly 2 weeks. Now that they're back in the city, I caught up with 2 of them earlier today.
1,700 miles separates Worcester from Puerto Rico, but for a group of Worcester police officers, it's much closer.
And seeing signs posted, please feed, we need water, we need food, and it was sad. It was to all of us, it was very personal.
Sergeant Armando Garcia and Officer David Rojas were 2 of 6 from the Worcester Police Department assisting the hurricane-ravaged Puerto Rico. Officers worked traffic details, took calls, and added more security to the island. For Sergeant Garcia, it was a completely different place than it was before the storms.
90% of the infrastructure was destroyed. I mean, when we arrived, we were just shocked, and just going to certain parts of the island, where there's no electricity or water, people standing in line trying to get, attempting to get water and ice. It was pretty sad.
All 6 of the officers have a personal connection to the U.S. territory, whether it be family or friends. Garcia and Rojas say in the wake of such a devastating storm, it was amazing to see the resiliency of the people in Puerto Rico.
I talked to a lot of people and I asked them, like, how do you come to work and get out every day with a smile on your face? And they said, hey, we still have our health, we still have our families, we still have our loved ones.
So very humble. They're strong people. I mean, it's to us everywhere we went. They might not have water, but they had a Coca-Cola and they had food cooking,
The group of officers spent 2 weeks in Puerto Rico, and if given the opportunity,
if they request it again, we'll definitely go back. If the chief allows it, we will definitely go down and assist again.
Yeah, I have friends, I have family there. And when we left, I still didn't feel like I felt that I could do more, that I wanted to do more. I was ready to leave, so I would go back in a heartbeat.
Now on Thursday, those officers will be working with a group of WPI students who are set to go down to Puerto Rico for a project earlier this year, but the hurricane canceled those plans. Anna?
Thanks, Cam. Well, a man faces a slew of charges after Worcester police say he tried to pepper spray an officer. According to police, the officer noticed the suspect, Wilfredo Crespo Morales, hiding several electronics as he walked out of the Walmart on Tobias Boland Way Monday. The officer told Morales he needed to go back inside the store. Police say Morales started struggling with the officer who tried to pepper spray the suspect, but Morales took it away and tried to spray the officer. Morales faces charges including shoplifting over $100 and assault and battery on a police officer. He'll be arraigned in Worcester District Court. Well, 2 Worcester schools ordered to have a shelter in place Monday after police say a cab driver was carjacked at gunpoint. Police were on scene of the Belmont Street Community School and Worcester Technical High School around 12:30 today. The shelter in place was promoted by a police search for the suspect who stole the car. The cab driver told police a male opened the rear door of the cab and showed him a firearm.
He was driving his cab and someone got in the back like he wanted a ride. That person then demanded money and brandished the firearm and robbed the cab driver. Cab driver gave him some money and got out of the cab. The person ended up getting in the front of the cab and driving away. The car was located not too far away. The person apparently ditched the car and got out on foot and took off. The person is still at large, but the car has been located.
Police say the victim is expected to be okay and are warning other cab drivers in the area to be vigilant until the suspect is caught. No direct threats were made to the schools. Well, an emotional reunion Monday after an elderly man is found in Worcester. The 70-year-old suffers from dementia and was last seen by his family on Saturday. A search effort began and lasted more than 36 hours. Our Rosalind Flaherty was there as police reunited David LaJoy with his family and has more.
Our camera was there when Tyler LaJoy got the news he's been hoping to hear for almost 2 days.
You have him? Over at Maxwell Silverman. Over at Maxwell Silverman? You actually have him in hand?
Oh my God.
Tyler's dad, David LaJoy, was missing for more than 36 hours. He went out for a walk Saturday afternoon, and this is the first time Tyler or any of his family has seen him since.
I owe a huge thank you to everybody that helped. So we're just happy.
David LaJoy turns 70 Monday. His wife Tina says he goes for walks often, but David has dementia caused by a stroke he suffered 7 years ago.
Mostly he'll go to Dunkin' Donuts. Sometimes he'll venture off a little bit, but he's always made his way back home.
Tina says they searched nonstop for her husband and put up flyers like this one, hoping someone would find him.
Very touching, you know. So many people I didn't even know. And everybody shared it, and you know, it's all over Facebook.
The search had entered a third day when a Worcester police officer spotted David near Maxwell Silverman's. Tyler says his dad was shaken up, but kept his sense of humor.
I can't understand how a guy can walk around through Worcester 2 nights in a row and spend 36 hours or whatever it is and still be that. We're just relieved. He's finally okay.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
Well, now to the latest on another mass shooting in the U.S. More than 24 people killed at a church in Texas this weekend. City religious leaders are shocked and saddened following the mass shooting. And as our Brittany Schaefer explains, they say all churches alike are a place of peace, worship, and safety. And for this thing to happen is unimaginable.
I feel like this is happening all too often.
Reverend Aaron Payson was horrified after hearing about the worst mass church shooting in U.S. history.
Grief-stricken. This is considered a safe place.
I think there's an added sense of offense for a lot of people that maybe there was a betrayal to public trust because it happened what's supposed to be a safe place, sacred ground, and ended up being ground zero for this massacre. And
Leave through both of the side doors. Through the side door here.
It's causing churches in the area like Payson's to rethink and remind members of their congregation of escape plans in case of an emergency.
It's something that we will have to reevaluate. Right now I have a cell phone in the pulpit and intentionally to call if necessary.
We have trained our folks to be vigilant in looking for potential issues. We have trained in emergency responses so that people know what to do and where to go.
Reverend Payson is a member of the Unitarian Universalist Trauma Response Ministry team. He has been on scene of fatal church shootings before and says it's heartbreaking.
I think any of us that have been present in a place which has experienced this kind of trauma, although certainly not to the degree that Sutherland, Texas is dealing with right now, certainly brings back memories.
Saturday, Worcester Police coincidentally had a meeting with 33 local clergy members on the best strategy when an active shooter enters a church. Sergeant Hazelhurst says they teach to avoid, deny, and defend.
You have an opportunity to get out of there, you get out of there. If deny is about if a situation where you can't leave, you deny that person, that active shooter, access to you. And of course, the last case scenario would be defend or fight if the situation dictates so.
Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
Well, switching gears now, Worcester has signed some big names to help with their effort to lure the Pawtucket Red Sox to the city. Economist Andrew Zimbalist and former Massachusetts Secretary of Transportation Mullen have been hired by City Manager Edward Augustus. In a statement, the city manager says, "I have taken these actions in response to the City Council's 8-1 vote, asking that I do all that is reasonably within my power to facilitate bringing the ball club to Worcester." The city has confirmed in the past PawSox officials have been to Worcester to check out possible locations for a new ballpark. Tuesday's ballot for City Council will mark a new chapter for Districts 1 and 5. Without any incumbent, city councilors running the two districts will soon see a new face. Our Chandler Walsh spoke to the candidates in both districts today and has the story.
New faces are campaigning in two Worcester City Council districts. There are open seats in both races. In District 1, Sean Rose and Ed Moynihan are first-time candidates. And in District 5, Matt Wally and Paul Franco are running for a district seat for the first time.
It's made the temptation to run a negative campaign much easier, because I'm really running on me and my ideas and what I want to stand for.
All four are working to reach voters the day before Tuesday's election. They spent the day going door to door or by making mass phone calls.
Climbing all the hills and dales of Worcester District 5. So that's what we're out there. We're out in the streets doing all the kinds of things that people expect us to do.
The candidates are all hopeful and eager to take action if elected. In District 1, Rose says he first wants to tackle overtaxation.
The question is, do you give those monies back to the district to do things with them in the district? So you give money back to taxpayers. So I'm really looking forward to talking to him about just fiscal policy.
And Moynihan wants to update the city's master plan.
My goal as the next 2 years of City Council is to shepherd that through, get as much community input as possible to provide a roadmap for where we want the city to be.
In District 5, candidates are focused on making their community safer.
What we want to do is make sure that we know what streets in the district don't have sidewalks and what plans we can put in place to mitigate that issue.
So we believe the police bike patrols, police substations brings the police closer to us, and we think they can do a better job protecting us.
One thing they all agree on is how important it is to participate and vote.
Whether you're voting for me or not, we just want you to come out.
Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
Another new face this election season is District 3 candidate Davis Asari. The 25-year-old is running against incumbent George Russell, who's seeking his fourth term as District 3 city councilor. While out doing some last-minute campaigning Monday, Asari says his focus is to bring a new perspective to the council. Both Asari and Russell have said in the past their priorities for the district surround the city's residential and commercial tax rates. But Asari says his #1 priority is helping residents find jobs, and the possibility of Amazon building headquarters in his future district could help.
We need jobs, you know, it's you don't want to live in a city and then you can't find a job, or you're commuting to Boston for a job. If you have something close here in Worcester, it would help a lot. So, and we're excited about Amazon.
Worcester's municipal election is tomorrow, Tuesday, November 7th. And with Worcester's municipal election just one day away, we've caught up with all but one of the at-large council candidates to see how they feel, what they think is the most important issue facing the city. Tonight, we hear from Kate Toomey. Toomey has served for 12 years and is seeking her 7th term. She says a clean, safe community, good schools, and jobs are the 3 biggest things to continue to fight for.
I think that Worcester going into the next decade, I think that we really need to plan for the jobs of the future. I think we need to continue supporting initiatives that will help train people. Not everybody needs to nor should have to go to college. There should be good paying jobs out there that people should be able to support their family with technical skills. I think we need to look at doing that and making sure that we're providing workforce development and job training for the jobs of the future. I think that making sure that we're providing all types of vocational options at different schools. Worcester is a world city, and I've been talking for a long time about the need to really recognize that and have an environment that is welcoming to people from all over, to help them really be able to establish a business.
Toomey adds it's important to encourage small independent job growth as well.